here with Dave Elkington, CEO and founder of InsideSales.com. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what's your journey? How'd you get to, I guess, first of all, what does Inside Sales do? And then how'd you go from, I know you have an engineering background, to being CEO of a large tech company?
Yeah, so first, what do we do? Because that's a mouthful, even in that. We're a sales acceleration platform that uses science and data to help people know who to sell to and how to engage with them. And so we're basically using machine learning to look for patterns across all of our clients, and then we take those patterns and we package them up, and then we can tell any individual salesperson, hey, this customer's or this company's likely to buy from you, and these are the people you should be engaging with, and even more, like, here's how you should be engaging with them in a really personalized way.
Okay.
So your question is, what's the journey?
Yeah, the journey. How'd you go from? Did you start out? What was your background?
Yeah. So I think like every CEO, founder CEO, you find your way there. Like it's not, you don't walk in the front door and you're like, here I am.
Perfect business plan. And
here I am.
Next 10-year blueprint.
Yeah. So I love as a kid, I love tech. I love this idea of AI, and I love this idea of just artificial intelligence more like abstractly. I went and studied philosophy, right? So it's a little bit different. So it's not the typical route to engineering. So I studied philosophy, and I got super enamored with this concept of set theory and epistemology, and this abstract concept of how do people learn?
Epistemology.
Epistemology. I'm going with that. And so
I don't know if the average audience member or myself understands what that is.
Okay, that's the study of thought, right? It's kind of the abstract study of you guys, everybody's heard of Descartes, I think therefore I am. It's that kind of question of what makes an individual who they are and how do they think.
Okay.
And then I wondered, I'm like, hey, I wonder if I could do this mathematically. Can I represent some ways we as humans think about things? Can I do this with a machine? I did the philosophy thing, went into banking, and into venture, and it was during the .com, and I got super frustrated because I saw these guys who I'm like, man, as smart as these guys, why are they making money? Yeah. I'm gonna go do this. So I go back and I decided to get a master's in computer science, see if I could algorithmically represent this mathematical idea or hypothesis I had. So I go to the chair of the computer science department that I wanted to go to and say, hey, I want to get a master's degree in computer science. He's like, Dave, you haven't taken a math class since high school. You crazy? And I'm like, yeah, probably a little bit. I told him what I was thinking. He's like, look.
How old are you at the time?
Oh, I'm probably 27, right? So
you're a little removed from school.
Yeah, that's right. So again, 2-3 years banking, venture, and then came back and did this. So he said, look, you're crazy enough. I'm going to try this with you. I'm going to let you into the program, just because I want to see where this plays out. So I get a couple of years into it.
You get to be the guinea pig in the experiment.
Totally.
We're going to watch you.
That's exactly what it was. So I get a year into it, or so. Start InsideSales.com at the time. Now it wasn't Inside Sales. It was a services organization that we started building, and we were testing things, right? So we started building web-based application platforms, and they were HR systems or accounting, you name it.
Sure.
Someone would pay me, I'd build it. And then we said, all right, let's start taking these assets and let's now build the thing that is interesting. So it kind of evolved into a sales platform, and the key to the whole thing was data. So we have 2,000 customers who use our technology right now. We, like every other software company, we own utilization data, but uniquely, every time any of our 80,000 sales users use our technology, we don't just own the clicks, actually own all of the raw data. Who did they sell to? How did they engage? What was the behavior associated with it? Now it's anonymized.
So you own the anonymized version of it.
That's the anonymized version of it. So if you've ever bought from Microsoft.
The data is their data.
The data is their data.
But you get an anonymized version to use.
But the behaviors, the patterns, the clusters. So
to instruct, and machine learning is as good as the data that comes into it. And
so we have arguably the best enterprise purchasing data set on the planet. And what's interesting is our customers are engaging with us to provide productivity tools and recommendations and things like that, while providing for free the data to help them be even better.
And you guys have taken money from
the
announcement recently.
Microsoft. So we just did a significant investment from Microsoft. Salesforce has put a lot of money in. Kleiner Perkins, Polaris, Hummer, USVP, some I mean, just it's fairly well.
So in that process of going from a philosopher and then an engineer to CEO of a tech company, what are the things that, what were the skills that you didn't have that you kind of needed to add to become an effective CEO?
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's always a journey. Like, no, any CEO is like, here's who I am today. Like,
Sure.
That's not real. Right?
Sure.
And so I think I'm evolving every day.
Yeah, because I don't have philosophy or engineering or
Right?
anything like that.
There is no like.
I kind of started out as I'm jack of all trades. I'll be a CEO, and
yeah.
But yeah, you compare the difference between now and 20 years ago. Of course, I've learned a million things because I've made a million mistakes.
And that's the king. So at my root, I am like wildly inquisitive. I love to learn things. Like I like to try things. I like to fail. I like to succeed, and then iterate. So I believe in this principle of Darwinistic entrepreneurism. Like try, evolve, try again, screw up, fail fast, try again. And there's some CEOs who think
fail
they
fast
have,
is a theme for sure.
fail
right?
fast, man. Fail fast. Another thing is, and it's one I'm still learning. It's all about people. It is on your own. You just can't do that much. And if you're measuring your time is too valuable to do everything. And so, what I found is surround yourself with people you love, you enjoy, and then help them be wildly successful. I don't know what other
kind of really learning to love the people sitting opposite you. And
yeah, and I'm like not lip service. You have to just love and just want the best for those people. And when what's interesting is you can only get so successful, and frankly, I think you can only be so happy by being successful. And pretty soon you find out that's pretty hollow.
So besides geeking out on trying new things and testing things, what are other things that inspire you outside of work that help keep you healthy?
Family, right? I mean, everyone says it. For me, I thrive off energy I get from, and every CEO probably says this, and I think it's real. If you don't have a good wife, if it just isn't like perfect, man, it's hard, and I got it. And so I really feed off the energy from my wife. My kids, I've got a 14-year-old little boy. He's not little, he's like 6 feet. And a 12-year-old daughter who's going to be, by the way, she's informed me, she's the CEO of InsideSales. As long as I don't screw it up, like she's the next CEO of InsideSales. Like, man, I feed off that energy, and we do. We travel. Like, I love Hawaii. I go to Hawaii 1, 2, 3 times a year. I love it. I love Lake Powell. I like running. I like that is. I got this advice from several other guys. I mean, this is a stressful job. And you have to balance your life really well. Like, and if you're unhealthy physically, you can't perform intellectually. If you're unhealthy spiritually, you can't perform physically. And so, like, you can't compartmentalize those aspects. And so, a lot of what I do is trying to, and it's hard in this role because, like, you never walk home and be like, man, I'm done.
Yeah.
I cannot think of a day when I'm like, I got nothing else to do.
Right.
And so you just go.
No, that energy you get from husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
It's all of that.
It definitely continues to like feed you.
It does. And this, like the spirituality thing, like Mark Benioff is a mentor and friend. I know he's of you. Every time I talk to him, he's like, and look, he's not in the same faith I am, but he's like, Dave, have you found your place where you connect with God or with nature or whatever it is that matters to you? And I'm like, man, I got to do better. He's like, Dave, what am I telling you? Like, go out, come on. And so it's not.
Let's go do yoga together.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
Come to my beach.
I've
done yoga with Mark on his beach.
Right? I mean, he's like, Dave.
No, he's definitely.
When have you prayed? And I'm like,
he's centered.
This is
for sure.
personal, Mark. Like, and he's like, yeah. When is it? And so like but he's right. Like that. And then Satya Nadella, he's another guy. Look, I'd love to call him a mentor, but at least I've learned and modeled off of him. He's maniacally disciplined, swims every morning. He wakes up, I think he told me like 5:30. He spends time with his son, and he's pretty inspiring. His son has special needs, and so he says, he tells me he spends time with his son. He then does every morning. He never misses a morning of exercise. So like those are the kind of patterns that I try and emulate.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, last question. What does InsideSales look like 5 years, 10 years down the road?
Look, we're changing the world, and we're on the front end of a crazy trend. We're leveraging AI to create real value for our customers.
Yeah, your engineers got to be pretty happy. They're working on big, interesting problems, right?
Man, we are right on the front end of what AI really can do. Now, there's a lot of hyperbole around AI. I think that's going to get weeded out, but
And
boy,
it's cool you have that world-class technology, and you're not in Silicon Valley. You're
Silicon Slopes, man.
There's Silicon Slopes. There's a bunch of other places where great tech can be
That's right.
created, and you guys are creating world-class tech. So congratulations.
Cool. Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
very
me,
much for your
man.
time. All right, appreciate it. Thanks.